Hi class! Have you ever wondered what the difference is between frogs and toads? Today we are going to learn what is the same about them and what is different about them. This is called comparing and contrasting. We'll use comparing and contrasting in reading a lot this year, especially when we hit the standard of, with prompting and support, we'll compare and contrast the adventures and experiences of characters in familiar stories. Let's first learn what's different about frogs and toads. Frogs need water to survive. Toads do not need water. Frogs have smooth, wet skin that looks slimy. Toads have bumpy and dry skin that looks rough. Frogs have a narrow body, while toads have a much wider body. Frogs jump far and high. Toads like shorter jumps or not jumping at all. Now I want to talk about what is the same about frogs and toads. Frogs and toads both eat bugs. Frogs and toads are both amphibians. That means they can live on water and land for part of their lives. They are also cold-blooded. Frogs and toads have the same life cycle. They go from egg to tadpole, to young frog or froglet, to an adult frog or toad. Listen to this really fun song about the life cycle of frogs and toads and what makes them the same and different.
Froggy, froggy in the stream, froggy, froggy in the tree. The life cycle just goes on and on. Now listen up to my froggy song. The froggy life cycle goes like this. 4 unique stages of metamorphosis. Stage 1 is a bunch of eggs in a pond. When they stick all together they call it egg spawn. Stage 2 is the tadpole hatched from the egg. But you've gotta look closely cause he's got no legs. At first this guy is more like a fish, breathing with gills, just watch him swim. Stage 3 is the tadpole with some legs. Then we go to stage 4 where he's a full-fledged adult frog. Check out his webbed feet. This helps him to swim when he's in the stream. Check out his legs. He's a really good leaper. When it comes to bugs, he's a really good eater. He does not breathe like he did when he was young. Instead, he breathes with a pair of lungs. Froggy, froggy in the stream, froggy, froggy in the tree. The life cycle just goes on and on. Now listen up to my froggy song. The answer everybody wants to know. What is the difference between frogs and toads? Both of them live a double life, sometime on land, but they also might spend time in the water. Just watch them jump in. This double life makes them amphibians. Land is where toads would rather be, but if you're a frog, you prefer the creek. Hey, there's other differences that I spy. Frogs are slimy, toads are dry. A few more facts about these guys. Some use their color as a disguise. That's camouflage. The sound they make you really can't miss. Froggy, froggy in the stream, froggy, froggy in the tree. The life cycle just goes on and on. Now listen up to my froggy song.
Let's review some of the differences between frogs and toads. Their skin is different. Where they live is different. The way they like to jump is different, and their body type is different. You can also learn more about some of their other differences by looking at this image. I want you to use this Venn diagram to compare and contrast frogs and toads. Remember, what is the same about them will go in the middle. What is different about frogs and toads will go in the outside circles. Once you're done with this, you'll have a chance to share with your group at your table. You can either draw pictures or write words to explain what you know about the similarities and differences in frogs and toads. Do you think a frog and a toad could ever be friends? Soon we're going to read 3 different stories about the adventures of Frog and Toad.